Hello there and welcome back. We have an algebra problem here with two equations where we want to solve for x and y. And we'll go through this and work it out together. And then I've got a little word of caution about ChatGPT. Generally, everything that I've gotten back has been reliable, but we're going to look at this problem because when I asked ChatGPT to make up a problem, it actually came back with an incorrect answer. So let's look into this. If you want to, go ahead and pause the video. All right, let me turn on my laser pointer here. First, what we would recommend would be to multiply the first equation by 4 and the second equation by 2. Because what we're going to end up doing here, we can very easily add the two equations together to eliminate the y. Now, if you look back at the original equations, the reason why we're saying 4 and 2 is because, look, we have minus 2y and plus 4y. So you can see that if we multiply the top equation by 4, we're going to have a negative 8y. We multiply the bottom equation by 2, we'll have 8y. Well, minus 8y and plus 8y cancel each other out. So yes, so first of all, if we do multiply that first equation by 4 all the way across, we'll have 20x minus 8y equals 12. And you can see by looking back here, 5x times 4 would be 20, minus 2y times 4 is minus 8y, 3 times 4 is 12. And if we multiply the bottom equation, we should have 6x plus 8y equals 14, which is what I'm showing right here. So we've got these two equations. We've multiplied the top by 4 and the second equation by 2. All right, so the next thing would be to add the equations together, and you're allowed to do that. You can add these two together. 20x plus 6x is 26x. Minus 8y plus 8y will give you 0, so we eliminate the y altogether. And then 12 and 14 equals 26. So 26x equals 26. Pretty easy, right? 26x equals 26. Well, you divide both sides of the equation by 26. It leaves you with x equals 1. All right, so we can go back. This is our first equation that we had, 5x minus 2y equals 3. We can substitute x equals 1 into that first equation and then solve for y. So if we do that, 5 times 1 minus 2y equals 3. 5 minus 2y equals 3. Well, here we can subtract 5 from both sides, leaving us with minus 2y equals negative 2. Negative 2y equals negative 2. And that means we divide both sides of the equation by negative 2. It leaves us with y equals 1. So in this case, x equals 1 and y equals 1. So pretty easy, right? If you go back and look at the original equations, and we assume that x and y are both 1, well, 5 times 1 is 5, minus 2 times 1 is still minus 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. And in this case, 3 times 1 is still 3, 4 times 1 is still 4, 3 plus 4 is 7. That checks out, right? If x is 1 and y equals 1, we can easily tell that these equations are true. But I'm going to have a little bit of warning here. Be careful and check ChatGPT when you use it. I queried ChatGPT about this, and this is exactly what ChatGPT did. All right, so started out okay. It said solve for x and y. It gives us the equations. Now, this is where it really confused me. It said multiply the first equation by 2 and the second by 5 to eliminate y. Well, if you multiply the first equation by 2, that gives you 10x minus 4y equals 6. This is correct. 10x minus 4y is 6. And then it says multiply the second equation by 5. Okay, I don't know why you're picking that because it doesn't help us eliminate y at all. But you get, you know, 3x times 5 is 15x. 4y times 5 is 20y. 7 times 5 is 35. But if I was to add these two equations together, I would have 20, well, let's see, we'll go ahead and let's write it out here, right? Let's just do that. Uh, Not very good with writing on this, but I would have 25x plus 16y equals 41. That's what I would get. That did not help me eliminate y, right? Plus 20y minus 4y is 16y. So not really sure why ChatGPT went there, but magically they claim that we got rid of the y somehow. And look back at the original here. They're saying the 25x equals, they're saying 25x equals 41. They completely eliminated the y. And I basically say, ChatGPT, I'm afraid you're drunk. They come up with 25x is 41 and x equals 41 25ths. Then they go through this whole long thing saying substitute back to find y. So they go back to the original equation, substituting. They go through all this stuff and they just say, oh, look, y is equal to 13/5. Well, let's go back and double check them on this. Okay, they're claiming, ChatGPT claims that x is 41 25ths and y is 13/5. And I say, what? What are you talking about? Now you can easily go back to this first equation. Let's substitute 41 25ths and 13/5 for x and y, and see if we come up with 3. All right, that's all we got to do. All right, so the confusing thing is that when you substitute back into the first equation, it looks like it all works out, and maybe ChatGPT was okay, right? Because if you look back at the original equation, 5x minus 2y equals 3, we substitute the 41 25ths and the 13/5. Well, if we go through and do that, 41 times 5 is 205. 205 divided by 25, or 205 25ths. And then here we have minus 26/5, right? But if you multiply the 26 by 5, you're going to get what? 130? 130 over 25? So 205 minus 205 25ths minus 130 25ths, because again, I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator to get a common denominator. I'm going to end up with 75 25ths. 75 divided by 25 is 3. So at least on the first equation, it looks like their answer checks out. But let's go to the second equation. Let's go to that second equation, all right? The second equation was 3x plus 4y equals 7. And if we have x equals 41 25ths, y equals 13/5, we want to go ahead and substitute. All right, so yeah, like we say, we want to substitute into the second equation. I mean, the first equation worked out fine, right? First equation was fine. We ended up getting that to work out. But if we take 3x plus 4y equals 7, we substitute the 41 25ths and the y is 13/5. That means we're going to have 3 times 41 over 25 plus 4 times 13/5. That gives us 123 25ths. And then I don't need that parenthesis here. Sorry about that. But it's 52 over 5. And then we multiply the numerator and denominator by 5 to get a common denominator of 25. That gives us 260 25ths. So 52 fifths is the same as 260 25ths. And again, pardon this parenthesis here. That should not be there. The the right parenthesis. But 123 25ths plus 260 25ths. All right, so when we go through this, let me put my pointer back here. 123 over 25, or 123 25ths plus 260 25ths. And again, pardon me for this right parenthesis, that's a mistake. Shouldn't be there. But 123 plus 260 is 383. 383 25ths, I guarantee does not equal 7. As a matter of fact, if you divide 383 by 25, you'll get like 15.32. 15.32 does not equal 7. So right there, that it fails on the ChatGPT solution fails on the second equation. So that again, that was very, very confusing what they did. It started out okay, and then when they tried to eliminate the y, they just magically eliminated, multiplied the equations by the wrong values. So I hope that's been helpful. I would just suggest that you take your time. ChatGPT and all the AIs can be very helpful, and for the most part, they're correct on a lot of their responses. But you do the way I approach AI is it's kind of a helpful tool, but I don't rely on it 100%. It can help speed things along, but you do need to have some basic knowledge to be able to interpret it and double check. And in this case, I just got the wrong answer. So hope that's been helpful. All right, so let's see if anything there's anything to do with the prompt. The original prompt that I made that gave me that strange result from ChatGPT was just simply, please give me 10 algebra problems that include a detailed solution. Put the laser pointer back. It says, please give me 10 algebra problems that include a detailed solution that involves solving for two variables. And so it says, here are 10 algebra problems involve solving for two variables along with detailed solutions. And the problem that we just went through was like the third out of these 10. And I got the wrong answer. And I thought, well, you know what? Let's go back to ChatGPT again and give them another prompt. Let's ask them specifically about this problem, the one that they actually generated. I said, here's 5x minus 2y equals 3, 3x plus 4y equals 7, solve for x and y. And then this was the response that ChatGPT gave. Now, keep in mind, this is a different prompt. I'm not having ChatGPT create 10 problems. I'm giving ChatGPT the specific problem and asking to solve it. And so it says equation 1, 5x minus 2y is 3, 3x plus 4y is 7. And this actually starts out really well. And actually, they go through and do it differently because this is actually a very good solution. We'll eliminate y by making their coefficients the same. The least common multiple of 2 and 4 is 4, which is correct. So multiply equation 1 by 2. And that was, I didn't actually do it that way. I did it a little bit differently. I ended up with plus 8y and minus 8y, but they did it actually even better because the least common multiple is 4. So 2 times 5x minus 2y, what do we end up here? We're going to end up with 10x minus 4y equals 6 because the 2 times 3 is 6. So yes, if I multiply the top equation by 2, I would get 10x minus 4y is 6. The equation 2 would remain the same in this case, right? Which would give us 3x plus 4y is 7. The minus 4y and plus 4y will cancel each other out when you add the equations together. When you add the equations together, you're going to end up with, well, 10x and 3x is 13x. Minus 4y and 4y is 0. What does that leave us with? It leaves us with 6 plus 7. So yeah, 13x equals 13, and x equals 1. The same thing that we got when we worked it out together. Then step 3, substitute x equals 1 back into one of the original equations to find y. So they're using equation 1, which is the exact same thing that we did. When you work through it, you get y equals 1. Well, what do you know? The final answer from ChatGPT is x equals 1, y equals 1. And yeah, you don't need to turn it into a video description. That's not necessary. But you can see in this case, ChatGPT came up with the correct answer. But it only happened when I prompted them for the exact problem instead of asking ChatGPT just to make up problems. So kind of interesting. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But if you found this video helpful, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing. I do appreciate all the support. It means a lot. And I really look forward to seeing everyone in the next video.